let's just talk this news that broke today about John Fisher. And just remember, it's fuck John Fisher o'clock, right? Um,
Always.
yeah, this prick did sell his half of the Coliseum to African American Sports and Entertainment Group. He sold it to them for $125 million. So for those of you that doing the math, he bought it from the county for 85 million, which is 40 million extra that he made just holding on to that property for what, 6 years? It was
Just for
2018
being
when
the
he did it.
middleman.
Just for being the middleman. So that's a 47% increase. So that fucker made his money. There he is, the clown picture again. We're gonna keep that handy because I like it because it's apt. So I mean, I think about AASEG buying the city's half of the site for 105 million. Like I think earlier, like within the last week or so. I would think the price should have been probably about the same. I know that the county gave John Fisher a deal on that, and he bought it for a lower value than it's worth. I think 105 million probably is about right for half of it. So I think he's just getting more money. But that being said, I'm excited to see what AASEG does with it, man. Because you're not gonna shell out 230 million and then just sit on it. I don't think they're not John Fisher.
No.
They have plans. I'm
Well, they're
kind of excited.
Also not it's not like they're going to cash this out
right
with the check tomorrow. So it's being paid in payments. It's financed through a bank in Chicago.
Yep.
So they're carrying debt. So they're going to want to, I'm assuming that they're probably going to section off a piece to start like quick, short, like immediate construction.
Yeah.
Like that you could start in the next year to 2 years. And then this is the first time that there's an owner that it's under one umbrella, where one of the things that made this site so complex was the city and the county owned half of it each, but there was no boundaries. It wasn't like the county has Oracle, the city has the Coliseum. Like there was no boundary. They're just financially on this whole plot, 155 acres equal. Mm-hmm. And all parties had to agree to whatever was going to happen to the site. And that was the problem with the Raiders, the Warriors, and the A's, is that all these entities couldn't come to an agreement. Now you have 155 acres under one umbrella. And that's the question, right? What's going to happen next? If you go on AASEG's website, which everybody should do, check it out. It's in their name, right? African American Sports and Entertainment Group. They want to bring NFL to cities, MLB to cities. That's like in their website. That's what they want to do. I feel like there is an ownership group that now has 155 acres that's already zoned for a stadium and complexes. What are they going to do with it? Is it going to stay sports and entertainment? Or is it going to become, just housing, shopping, because once that field in entertainment district is bulldozed, you're going to be very hard pressed to get another. You're not going to have land to put a stadium and a Oracle Arena on.
Right.
This is like your only shot for the foreseeable future.
Well, it's exciting. Also a little daunting, I think, too, just because we don't know what is going to happen with it. But I did want to
optimistic. Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I'm still seething that John Fisher basically is getting getting $40 million to go fuck off and just holding land hostage for 6 years. I'm seething about that, but he's fucking off. At the end of the day, he's fucking off. He's gone. He has no more say. And
the A's are going to end up in Sacramento, dude.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Sorry, Tyler. Go ahead.
So the A's this past weekend hosted the LA Dodgers, and their broadcaster Stephen Nelson, who also works at SportsCenter as an anchor, chimed in during the broadcast of the game, and this is what he had to say about the whole stadium situation and
Yeah,
John
read
Fisher.
this. Yeah.
So he said, "It's hard to believe this is happening, but you understand that this does happen, right? Relocations are part of the business of sports. It's the third move when they go to Sacramento, and a fourth will be the one if they go to Vegas. If that actually happens, the Dodgers franchise knows relocations happen, but the way this one happened is shameful. It should be, anyway, because the people running it are apparently shameless. They're experiencing no embarrassment in the facade. You you slash payroll 50%, boost season ticket prices by 30%, and you wonder why people aren't showing up. No, they don't wonder. It was seemingly intentional, insidious, in fact. You tell fans, if you think you had it bad, I had it worse. Really? What about the hundreds of families, the thousands of people that will be impacted by the work that will be lost from this move? Using the wrong logo for promotional videos, every step of the way, this has been fumbled." So, me and Sam have our own personal thoughts about some Dodgers fans, but there's some good ones, there's some bad ones. But shout out to their broadcasting team to shed light of that and say it during a game, during national broadcasts. So.
Yeah, and every team to varying degrees has at least, said how like they feel terrible for the fans of Oakland losing their team like this. This is the harshest words we've heard so far from a broadcast team. I'm glad somebody said it, and he's the Dodgers voice, so they're not gonna. He's not the A's voice. The A's can't fire the Dodgers guy.
Yeah.
So hats off to that guy for saying it and just giving voice to what a lot of us are thinking with fewer curse words. For the that's basically it. We've been screaming about this for years at this point. I'm glad that somebody has basically said it kind of how we have been saying it at this point. So
John Fisher and his puppet Dave Cavill and his new puppet Sandy Dean, who's now all of a sudden the front face. We haven't really heard from Cavill. It's been all Sandy Dean the past month or two. They never wanted to be in Oakland, and I feel like if you don't want to be here, just come out and say it. Like if you're John Fisher, just, you know what? Fuck it. We don't want to be here. I would have more respect for you just being straight up and a straight shooter and just say it.
Yep.
And that's for me, that there is a difference between what the Raiders did, how they did it, and everything. Mark Davis, as soon as that 10-year deal was signed with the A's, Libby Schaff signed the 10-year deal with the Oakland Athletics and John Fisher. And it was like the next day, Mark Davis was like, well, that killed the Raiders in Oakland. And it was like, we're gone. Mm-hmm. And the ink wasn't dry when that 10-year lease was signed and Mark Davis announced that he's gone, because you just tied up the lot for the next how many years. You're talking about the Raiders and the A's would have suffered through this into 2024. Like, it doesn't make any sense for either franchise, you know? But there is a difference with how Mark Davis exited and how John Fisher is exiting. Even with Joe Lacob, as soon as he bought the team, it was clear he's putting him back in San Francisco. It was no knock against Oakland. It was just, you got to get the arena in San Francisco because of the concerts and everything else that goes with it. Mm-hmm. It sucks. I don't like it, but it made sense. And with the Golden State Warriors coming from San Francisco to Oakland, back to San Francisco, it didn't really grind my gears all that much. And it's not like they changed their name from the San Francisco Warriors to the Oakland Warriors and then back to the San Francisco Warriors. They're just the Golden State Warriors. So didn't bother me as much.
Right. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I can still get to a Warriors game without hopping on a plane. I can get there through public transit. So I'm. It's a longer public transit ride now, but I can still get to a game with relative ease. So that's another reason why that one doesn't really grind my gears. Also, Chase Center's nice. It's nice. They did a great job. Whatever they're going to end up building in Vegas, assuming Vegas actually does happen, there's no way it's going to be nearly as nice. It's not for the price that they're doing and not for what, they they think they can do. If they're going to try to make it fancy, it's going to be, cheap fancy, and it's not going to look good. It's just not. So that's fine. Whatever. It's not going to be our problem shortly. Sucks to say it. I hate saying it.
Yeah, I mean, John
It's not our
Fisher out of the
problem.
region. I hope, I truly hope now. I really don't want them in Sacramento. I really don't. Because up until this point, I had no problems with Kings fans. And now it's just like fucking tainted the waters. And if it happens now, I just see the Kings fans as like a red flag. I'm bull. I just want to attack. Like, you know what? You're allowing this to happen after what the Kings and this owner was going to, do to that city. And he's enabling a grifter like John Fisher. I can't help but now hold a grudge against the Kings.
Yeah,
so,
I get that. It's Vivek Ranadiva's fault. But yeah,
Vivek. I mean, it's not
Absolutely.
like the fans were like, yeah, but there's some that are like, oh, well, it sucks, but fuck, I want a baseball team in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
The weird city hate for the city of Oakland, I find so weird. Like if you go on like New York, New York does not get the hate that Oakland gets. Baltimore, which is larger and way more crime ridden than Oakland, doesn't get the hate, the vitriol that Oakland gets. It's like this. It's very weird that people hate Oakland so bad. Like you literally hate your fellow countrymen. Like it's really weird. It's really weird the hate that Oakland specifically gets as a city when talking about sports. It's really weird.